The boyhood of Ralegh.
At the dawning of the Elizabethan age in the lush and beautiful county of Devon, it came to pass that a plain country squire by the name of Ralegh fathered a son and named him Walter. The boy was to become one of England's brightest stars, a true Renaissance man, producing a light which would illuminate the darkest medieval corner of England's green and pleasant land.
Ralegh the adventurer.
In his teens, his unquenchable appetite for adventure and his staunch Protestant beliefs compelled him to fight for the Huguenot cause in France. After 6 years, he returned to join his brother, Carew, and half-brother, Sir Humphrey Gilbert, whose motto was,
"Why not?"
on an expedition to find the Northwest Passage, a fabled route to the riches of the Indies and China. Alas, the combination of bad weather and attacks by the dastardly Spaniards forced all except our young adventurer back to port. In command of the good ship Falcon, our valiant hero sailed on for a further 6 months, finding to his dismay nothing in particular. In 1584, he saw an opportunity for English expansion in the New World and so established a colony near Roanoke Island, which he named Virginia, in honour of his wondrous Virgin Queen, Elizabeth I. The irrepressible spirit of adventure which lived in the heart of our illustrious hero was unleashed once again in 1595 when he set off to find the mythical golden city of El Dorado. With 5 ships and 2 trunks full of books, he set sail bound for Guyana in South America. On his arrival, he befriended local Indians who showed him the many wonders of their land. On and on he journeyed, up the Orinoco River towards his goal. But sadly, the gods were not with our hero and sent much rain, causing a flood tide, which forced him back. On sailing home, Sir Walter wrote a stunningly beautiful book exalting the riches of Guyana. In it, he described pineapples as the princess of all fruits. He also described the native practice of eating lush oysters plucked from overhanging mangrove branches at low tide. On his return to England, Elizabeth asked, "Where is the gold, my lord?" And Sir Walter replied, "My liege, the land is the gold," and presented her with his book entitled The Discovery of the Large, Rich and Beautiful Empire of Guyana. When published, it became an instant bestseller, although some ungrateful wags scoffed. Who ever heard of fish growing on trees?
Ralegh the courtier.
In 1581, Ralegh was summoned to the court of Elizabeth, Queen of Elfame, the just and wondrous English Cleopatra. Our glorious son of Devon's straight-talking charm soon entranced the noble queen. The mythical episode of our hero using his best cloak to prevent his queen from getting her delightful toe stamp illustrates his chivalrous behaviour towards his sovereign. Elizabeth bestowed many privileges upon Walter, her pet name for our hero. These included land, trade monopolies and a knighthood. Sir Walter was a dashing figure at court. He dressed in the finest jewel-encrusted clothes and stood over 6 feet tall, a giant in those days. He was a trendsetter and made smoking tobacco a fashionable pastime. On one occasion, he bet his queen that he knew more about tobacco than anyone in the land. He could even tell her the weight of the smoke produced by the pipe. The Queen, who enjoyed a flutter, accepted the wager and watched as Sir Walter weighed a pinch of tobacco, smoked it, and proceeded to weigh the ash. The difference in weight, he reasoned, was the weight of the smoke. But alas, bold Diana, goddess of the moon, queen of all queens, had a roving eye, and a new favourite appeared on the horizon in the personage of the Earl of Essex, a tall blonde beauty, beguiling in nature, and in possession of exquisitely dreamy eyes. Thus, in 1589, our hero left court and took up residency in Kilcolman Castle in Ireland. Here he befriended Sir Edmund Spenser and sponsored the completion of his epic poem, The Fairy Queen. When he eventually returned to court, he was struck by an arrow shot from Cupid's bow, thus falling deeply in love with the beautiful Bess Throckmorton, one of Elizabeth's maid of honour. Incensed by a rumour that her knight and maid were secretly married and expecting a child, the Queen's heart was consumed by the green monster known throughout the land as jealousy. In a rage, she threw the smitten knight and innocent Bess into the Tower of London. Fortunately for the beleaguered couple, one of Raleigh's privateering expeditions returned to port with a massive captured treasure trove. When Raleigh's men found their beloved admiral had been imprisoned simply for loving a wench. They refused to give up their booty to their ungrateful queen. As Sir Walter was the only man who could rectify the situation, he was released from bondage and retrieved the treasure. He was then banished from court and set up home at Sherborne Castle, deep in the heart of rural Dorset.
Raleigh the scholar.
Raleigh was a man of letters. He studied at Oriel College, Oxford, and at Middle Temple Law College. He was a serious student of mathematics and chemistry, which at the time was linked to the dark arts of alchemy. In 1590, he was connected with a group of like-minded individuals known as
The School of the Night.
This group included Thomas Harriot, the renowned mathematician and astronomer,